Dun 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 dun. Oh wait, that's totally not the right one. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I don't know about you, but many of my friends squirm at the word patriot, whether it's on a missile or a blueberry variety or a neighbor's hat. And that's because they associate waving the flag with white supremacy or militarism or zero-sum foreign policy or the politics of nostalgia. And to be fair, a lot of people who fly the US flag are fans of those ideas, but with better branding and nomenclature like Manifest Destiny or America First or, just remembering the good old days. So, in the spirit of opening our hearts, integral philosophy, and a little bit of historical perspective, I'd like to offer a different take on our national holiday and why I like to honor and celebrate it. And that's because July 4th, 1776, marked the beginning of the first successful modern decolonization movement. We did it! We threw off the yoke of the colonial oppressor. And by we, I mean our forefathers. And by forefathers, I mean the whole we are family, inextricably linked through this fiction of nationality, which most of us believe in, with a bunch of old white dudes and Betsy Ross. Some people, like my friend Pancho, don't take this idea seriously. He says he's born in the part of the world that people call Mexico, and he got his PhD in the part of the world that some people call the USA. And literally, of course, he's 100% correct. This planet knows nothing about nations, and when William Shatner went to space, he was not brought to tears by national boundaries, because there weren't any. But here we are in this multi-generational theater project where I was born a supposed US citizen and Thomas Jefferson is somehow my father. And as absurd as that is, when you look at it literally, there's a beautiful truth in it for the poetically inclined. And for me, this first week in July is a time to reflect on the flood of inspiration and action that we unleashed through our revolution. First in Haiti, and then throughout Latin America, and then, much later after World War II, all over the colonial world. The US Revolution was the beginning of a long unfolding of struggle and freedom and independence all over the world. And some of it eventually was directly in opposition to our imperialism. Some of it fought against US military hardware with US military advisor, like the story of John Giuliano from a few months ago. And my guess is that almost everybody who doesn't identify with the US flag as white supremacy camp is going to identify with the US flag as a decolonial impetus camp. But of course, if you know someone who's neither, I want to talk to them. And this day then also reminds me of one of my earliest mentors, Billy Nagler. So Billy Nagler was a sizable gentleman. He was a huge dude in body and heart. And he was the father of one of my best friends in high school, Nikki, and the owner of our local restaurant. And he would often tell my teenage self, America, love it or leave it. And I just hated that phrase because as a dissident child of immigrant parents, I did not like hearing that. I felt threatened. But then I knew that Billy was also a dissident and a protester and just always bucking the mainstream trend and encouraging me to break all the rules I wanted to break, both in high school and out. And so for him, dissidence and loving America fit perfectly together. There was no contradiction. So as Jeff Salzman would say, it was a fully integral move. So, happy 4th of July week, happy Independence Day, happy Decolonization Day, happy Decolonization era. And here's to every one of us making that integral move and seeing the flag as a symbol of hope, progress, freedom, and decolonization. Not just for us, but for everybody. Maybe one more note here before I let you go. I had this insight 20 years ago in college when reading a book of letters or papers around the 60s, and it was a letter from Ho Chi Minh to President Truman, where he asked for the US's support. They're like, it's like 1946 or something, and he's like, hey, we are so inspired by what you did against the British, and we're trying to do exactly the same thing against the French, and we think it'd be totally natural that you would help us. And to me, reading that, after, years after, decades after the Vietnam War, and we all know how that story ended, it was just so poignant. But it really linked to me, okay, other people all around the world saw us as the first post-colonial struggle, and they looked to us, and often they had poor results. Vietnam did not get the help it expected from the United States, but we can still hold that togetherness and see ourselves in the light that Ho Chi Minh saw us in 1946. So we're new to YouTube and we would love your feedback. Please comment, subscribe, follow, tell all your friends, and let us know what you think. Thanks. And remember, the only way out is through.